Harihi Om. Sai Ram, Vanakkam, Namaskar, Vandanam, Assalamu Alaikum, and Sat Sri Akal. Today we're looking at something called disappointment. Now, doing it in a way that, we looked at expectations. So today I'm covering disappointment. So you get a good understanding of the linkage between, the weekly sessions. We looked at ego, then pride, then I put devotion in between because devotion can clarify. Then I did expectation last week, and today I'm looking at disappointment. So it's keeping the flow. Right? So what is expectation? Just to go back a little bit, it's wanting and thinking that you're going to get something or other, right? Disappointment, if you don't get it, that's the result, the feeling, right? When the expected does not result, does not take place, does not materialize, does not occur, and we all get disappointed. Cambridge Dictionary says the unhappiness or discouragement that results when your expectations have not been met, fulfilled, or satisfied, or something or someone turned out the way you did not expect. What you expected and what you got were two different things, right? Now, interestingly, I looked at some synonyms for disappointment, right? So you have dismay, dissatisfaction, you have frustration, and you have letdown. And then, the curious mind told me, look at some antonyms. You looked at synonyms, now look at antonyms. Antonyms is content, contentedness, contentment, gratification, satisfaction. Synonym for disappointment, antonym for disappointment. Same thing. Which is better? Dismay, dissatisfaction, frustration, letdown, or content, contentedness, contentment, gratification, satisfaction. All this leads to happiness, right? So you decide which is better for you. You want to go with the synonyms or do you want to go with the antonyms, right? Now, Buddha has given a lecture on disappointment, right? Now, he always says the power is not in other people to make you feel disappointed. The power to be disappointed is in your very own hands. So his disciples were wondering, what do you mean? How can we disappoint ourselves? It was always someone else who's disappointing us, something else that is disappointing us. But Master, you are saying that we ourselves have this power. We don't understand. So Buddha says, I will explain in the next village. Now let's go on. So they walked for a few miles, they stopped halfway somewhere, and then they walked. And of course, by the time they reached the new village, it was already nighttime. And they were all, hungry and tired. So they're all saying, Master, can we stop somewhere for some food? And of course, they don't carry food. They always beg for alms. Bhiksham dehi, right? They're always begging for food. So he came to a big house at the, at the entrance of the town. And apparently that was the town's chief. So Buddha knocked on the door and the chief came. He says, oh, not you fellows again. You guys are completely time wasting, man. This is, why don't you get a proper job like everybody else and work? Instead, you go around begging. And he was just, continuing for 10 minutes, saying all kinds of things to Buddha. And Buddha was quietly listening. Again, this is a story I may have shared in different, contexts. So after the man finished, Buddha said, sir, can I ask you a question, please? The man said, yes, make it quick, don't waste my time, right? I cannot waste time with you fellows. So Buddha said, sir, if you were to give me a gift and I were to refuse it, what becomes of the gift? The man said, look, I thought you were lazy fellows, but obviously your question is telling me that you're also stupid. Obviously, if I give you something and you don't want to take it, you don't want to accept it, I will take it back. And then Buddha says, in the same way, sir, whatever you have given me, in the last 10 minutes through your mouth, I'm not accepting. So please take it back. And then Buddha moved on in his journey, and people saw Buddha and they gave some fruits and all that. So he gave it to his disciples, and then he was telling his disciples, you see, the man was saying all those things, I did not get disappointed. You know why? Because the choice of accepting what he said to me or rejecting what he said to me was in my hands. And I chose to reject it. Therefore, I wasn't disappointed. Now you tell me, in whose hands is the power of disappointment? Is it in your hands, or is it in the hands of the people saying things to you or doing things to you? He says, if you don't accept, then you won't get disappointed. If you don't expect, you don't get disappointed. If I receive something, I give thanks to God. If I don't, I simply continue, because that, my dear friends, that is what I'm supposed to do. The best way to avoid disappointment is not to expect anything from everyone. You know, life is not always going to be a celebration. So be ready to courageously face disappointment when they come. And be sure to grow stronger and wiser, because disappointment, if you suffer, it's teaching you a lesson. So either you don't face disappointment, you don't accept it, because you have the power, you are in control. Or if you do suffer, then learn the lesson wisely. You know, because expecting, as a famous actor once said, expecting is my favorite crime, and disappointment is always my punishment. Until I see you next Thursday, stay blessed.